All right, so we're gonna start to learn how to play the game, the Smart Rider game. We have everything kind of set up here. We have 10 cones. We're using two, well, back here, there's the two start. Normally they're on the other side, but this is gonna help out kind of starting. Basically, we're just gonna keep doing a bunch of different patterns. They're on the phone right here. And we're only gonna do the easy ones, and then if you want to, we can try a little bit of a moderate one. And if you feel comfortable, we can ride it up and down the street. I'll ride on the e-bike, you can ride on this if you want to do that. But first, we need to get you used to actually riding the motorcycle, or at least getting on. So you rode the e-bike here. I would like it to see if you can get on the motorcycle just like it's a bicycle. So show me how you would get on a bicycle. Perfect. And flat feet down, good. We have the side stand down. You feel comfortable? Okay. Now that we're here, we have a few things. Just like if we're going to, like, I don't know, golf and stuff, and a few things where we do like the mini karts and all that stuff. You need to kind of know how to drive those things, the go-karts. So the only things you really have to know is how to start, stop, and go. Maybe in different orders, but still, that's how you do it. This right here is your go. It's a throttle, so it's a nice little easy twist. This is, like I said, a 500cc bike, so you're not having to give it a lot. So really, at the end of the day, you're just kind of giving it just a little bit to get going. This is your front brake. So this little lever right here will slow down the front tire. And then on the right foot, when you put your foot on the peg, you push that down and it'll slow down the rear tire. We really only want to go about 10, 15 miles an hour during this, so you don't really have to worry too much about shifting. That's what the shift lever is for. We're going to shift down into first. Right now you're in neutral. You could, if you want to, shift into second, see how that feels, but you don't have to really do that. This is your clutch lever right here in the front. Now this right here is going to be coordinated with this, okay? So what it's called is friction zone. So when it's pulled all the way back, you're not going to get any power to the back. When you let it all out, you get all the power that you give this to the tire. So since we're going slow, you can just do like a little bit halfway, half in and half out. It's kind of like on a, when you're taking a shower, it's like, hey, we're going to do all hot water, all cold water. You kind of want in that middle to have that nice warm water. So that's what we're doing here with that, and giving a little bit of this. If this thing sounds like it's getting really like high RPMs and it's making a lot of noise, I don't care, as long as you're not crashing into the wall, okay? So if there's ever a situation where you feel like you're out of control, you're gonna squeeze in the clutch lever all the way, and you're gonna gently squeeze the front brake until you stop. And since we're going slow, you're gonna stop pretty soon. The thing I want you really to focus on is having the handlebar straight, not like this and then doing it. Straighten it and then squeeze both, okay? Because if you have it turned, you might fall in to wherever it's turned, but if you have it straight, you're gonna stop straight, okay? So we're gonna do this design, but we're gonna start off easy. I don't expect you to put your feet up. So if you wanna paddle walk, that's perfectly fine to have balance. Whenever you feel comfortable, go ahead and put your feet up. Put them back down, put them up, put them back down, whatever it is. With this bike, on this side, with this exhaust, if you paddle walk, let's say like right here, you might hit your leg on the exhaust. So if you're gonna paddle walk kind of wide. Thankfully you have longer legs than I do, and this is a short bike, so you should be fine. So how do we start it up? I'll go ahead and take care of a lot of that at first. So we have our key right here on the left side. This is the key ignition. So I'm gonna turn it on. A little bit dusty. So this big N that's green means it's in neutral, which means that it's not gonna go anywhere. So in order for it to get into first gear, we're gonna pull this in, push it down, and it'll be in first gear. This is your engine start, or electric start and shut off switch. That's off, that's on. This is the ignition, so once I push that, it'll start up. Hazard lights, don't worry about it. Brights, don't worry about it. Horn, don't worry about it. Turn signals, we're not worrying about it. All we're caring about is this, the go button. This is the hot water, cold water right here. That's all so when you slow down, do that friction zone, find that water, or the warm water, and then front brake. You can use rear brake if you want. That's perfectly fine, but we're gonna get started, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it on. Here's the ignition switch. So before you hit that button, have both hands on the handlebars, and then go ahead and lean the bike over and hold it. Now, right now we're on a hill, so if you feel like you're falling backwards, you can squeeze in that front brake. And we're gonna do the side stand up. Okay, do you feel good balance? Okay, go ahead and hit with your thumb right there. Push it. Okay, so now we're in neutral, and we wanna go in first. Now, I wanna try something with you. It's gonna be a little scary. I know you just got bucked off a horse recently, or close to it. So it's gonna be kind of like that. We're not gonna fall down though. So handlebars are straight. Go ahead and pull in the clutch. And with that lever right there, press down. Okay, hold this in. Now, without giving it any throttle, keep your hand off the brake, just hold on. You're gonna let this go. I'm not gonna let you right now. You're gonna let it go and you're gonna feel it do this. Now, if that happens, that's perfectly fine, but it could happen. So go ahead and let go, all the way. So that's what it looks like to stall. So what happens now is you pull that back in and you hold it in. There you go. So right now we're in first gear. That means that if you're in first gear, you have to hold this the whole time. So you're trying to find neutral, you got second, there you go. So now in neutral, if you let go, it's not gonna do that. So that's why I always like to start off in neutral. So we're gonna go back into first gear, and I'm gonna walk side by side with you. I want you to keep facing forward, and I'm gonna tell you to stop, I'm gonna tell you to go, and everything. So in order to get to here, to these cones, we're gonna do that warm water with that friction zone. And right now we're not gonna give any throttle. We're just gonna let the bike take us, and you go ahead and paddle walk. So let's go ahead and get it into first gear. So press down 1. And so now find that warm water, and we're gonna just get to these cones. Just paddle walk the whole way. There you go, find that friction zone. And if anything happens, you squeeze that front brake, and then you squeeze that. Okay, perfect, now stop. Perfect. So we just started the timer. It's gonna probably reset anyways. We're gonna try to go to that cone now. And if you notice on the design, that's the first cone that we're gonna pass. So it's gonna take you to turn your handlebars just a little bit, but I want you to paddle walk and get in that warm zone. Don't worry too much about that. If you get out of control, straighten up, apply the brakes. So I'm gonna walk over here, and you're gonna come towards me and just paddle walk and turn the handlebars, and then you're gonna stop right here. So then apply the brakes. Okay, so right now we're doing friction zone. We got some brakes. Now I'm gonna want you to go to that cone, close to that cone on the right side. Same thing. It's like right here. And then brakes, perfect. So you notice how you have control of the bike, you're just giving it a little bit of that warm water, you're holding the brake into stop. Now this is gonna be a little bit harder. If you notice on this design, we're gonna have to go all the way around. So you can use any of all of this. The goal at the end of the day is to see how quickly we can do it and shorter, but for right now, we're gonna learn how to just do it nice and wide. I want you to meet me on that side of the cone, facing that way. So I'm gonna get over there. So you're just gonna go nice and wide, use everything you want. So turn those handlebars. There you go. Look towards me. There you go. And then when you get close to me, start applying the brakes. Perfect. Okay, so we notice on the next part of the design, because we're right here, we're gonna come back around and cut in between those two cones. So I'm gonna stand where I want you to park the bike, go nice and wide. So I'll be over there. So you're gonna go nice and wide, as much as you can. Use all the space you have. Keep turning those handlebars, look towards me, and I want you to park the bike as best you can, like that. Perfect. Okay, so the next one, we're right here. We're gonna go in between these two cones and try our best to make it in between these two cones. So if you need to, I'm gonna show you what I would do if I were you. I would come up here, and I'd use all this space as much as you want. As much as you want, and then end up right here. That's what I would do. So go ahead and try that out. Just go ahead and paddle walk it. There you go. There you go. and then right here. I notice you're starting to able to kind of like barely paddle walk. So that's really good because at some point you're gonna want to put your feet up, but right now we're good. So I want you to go through those cones and then see those last 2 cones. Go ahead and stop with the brake and everything, but go right straight towards it because that's that last part. There you go, using the front brake, very good. Okay, so now at this point, we're gonna have to come back around and face back that way. So we just did a bunch of turns. Do you think you can do a paddle walk turn, like way down there? Maybe like where the shade is, start the turn there and then come back out and aim this way? Okay, let's see if we can do that. If at any point, pull in both of those levers if you feel uncomfortable. There you go, start the turn. There you go, a little bit more speed, that was good. Now I saw that you were finding neutral earlier, so let's give your hand a little break. So go ahead and pull that in and then find neutral. It's just a half click up, and there you go. You can release that and give your hand a break. Okay, so how did that feel?
Good.
A little tiring though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the goal now, I'm gonna see if I can reset this. The goal now is to do the same exact thing, but instead of stopping every single time, we're just gonna do the design. But at any point you feel like you need to stop and look at this, that's fine. If you want, I can run in front of you, we'll figure it out. So we're gonna do this design, same thing. I noticed that you did really good on the braking. You found the friction zone, which is that warm water area, and you're moving. If you wanna lift your feet up, cool. If you wanna put your feet back down, cool. Just don't get too fast, and if you do, squeeze both gently, straighten the handlebars, and you should be good. And then I can move the bike for you. So we're gonna put this back on. So hands on the handlebars, you are in neutral, but I like to squeeze this anyways. And we're gonna start the ignition. Very good. And we're gonna release this slowly. Actually, we're gonna go into first gear. Okay, so now you're gonna do that friction zone thing again, and we're gonna go, I'm gonna kind of be in front of you at the next cone every single time. If you wanna stop, go ahead and stop, but if you want to keep going, I'll keep going, okay? So you're gonna go through this right here. You're gonna come over here, hey, good job with the feet. So you're gonna go super wide. Use as much as you want, This next one is gonna be a little shorter. You're gonna come through these 2 cones. So use as much space as you want. Good job with the turning. This next one's gonna be tough, so go wide and use as much as you can, like you did last time. And then make sure you turn. There you go, looking towards me, perfect. Go through these, that's fine. And then go through the end. There it is. You did that in 43 seconds.
Yay!
It was 3 minutes when we just did it normally. So much better. Now, if you can, however you want to do it, do a U-turn. So you can use all this room, watch out for the golden doodle, but have fun and come right back. There you go. There you go. Very good. Okay. Do you think, perfect. Do you think you could do this without me running around?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and try it. Let's see what you can do. So just go ahead and go through and then start the pattern. Very good. Yeah, use as much space as you want. There you go. Friction zone, turning the handlebars, then all the way through. "46 seconds, a little bit slower, but you didn't put, I don't think you put your foot down this time. So go ahead and do a U-turn, come over here facing that way, and then I want to see you shut off the bike. Okay. Very good. So pushing down is first gear, you're already in first gear, so you're gonna wanna go underneath it and lift it up just a little bit. There you go, neutral. So you should be in neutral, so this should be fine, but I was gonna say before I typically do that, since I'm in neutral, I'll just hit this button and then it'll shut off the whole thing and then I'll let it go, just in case. And then from here, since I don't want the battery to drain, I'll turn it off. So now, just like how you got on the bike, I'd like to see how you get off the bike, but first, before you do that, let's get that side stand down. So use your foot, there you go. Lay it down so it catches. Perfect, handlebar turn. And just like that.